Here are the 12 ranks and castes of xenomorphs in a hive, keeping in mind that this hive would be a very mature one having all necessary types of aliens. We would be discussing the multi-planetary HiveWorld system with the center of it all at Xenomorph Prime itself. So let's start from the lowest caste. Number 1 at the bottom we have the Workers. The Worker is a rare xenomorph that changes from a drone when needed by the hive. Specifically, the Worker shrinks into a smaller organism after changing from a drone. They are one of the only adult xenomorph castes that may be characterized as non-violent. These little creatures are much smaller than any other adult species, about 1.2 meters or 4 feet, and they seldom ever leave the hive, won't even go after dangers inside the hive, and will run away if confronted. Second, we have the drones. These are the first of the xenomorphs to be seen and are also the most common. The precise physical traits of drones can vary just like with any xenomorph caste. Most visibly, many variations in the creature's skull carapace have been observed. Anyway, drones are swift and moderately tough and can engage in vicious close quarters combat as well as planned stealth strikes. Their main work is to tend to the hive, defend it, and also gather resources for producing more of them. Then next we have the specialized drones. One of them is the Lurker, and it is younger than a warrior but older than a drone. The alien from the first movie was the only known individual Lurker. Their transparent shells on the top of their heads make it possible to see their skulls. This makes it possible to view their eye holes as well as nostril holes, as well as black patterns on their skulls. They have more human-like traits such as posture, hands and feet, and their skin is more grey than black. There is also another variation, the Runner, which is another specialized drone that came out of a bull or a dog depending on which storyline you like. Then number 4, we have the Warriors. These are one of the main xenomorph caste types, and it is a fierce combatant, quick and moderately tough. The warrior is harmful even after death, breaking into pieces and dousing adjacent adversaries in acid blood. The warrior has a height of around 8 feet, making it taller than a drone and also a predator, and its tail is roughly 14 to 16 feet long. It has long segmented tails, which is all black, and has a second set of jaws inside its mouth that it may use to kill or maim animals. Then we have the specialized warriors. One of them, the Crusher, has a huge head crest which is reported to be entirely bulletproof. It also has the propensity to charge its prey and deal massive blunt force, which are its most distinctive characteristic. It serves as a kind of a heavy unit for the hive. There is also another one, the Prowler, which is another warrior variation. It is primarily black in color, but its mesoskeleton possesses reddish accents that are often found solely on members of the Runner caste. It has a noticeable head crest and its body seems to be moderately armored. Then going up one caste level we have the Praetorian, which is also referred to as the Royal Guard, and it is one of the last stages of its life cycle, the xenomorph life cycle, and possibly the most prevalent and well-known caste to emerge from a vast extended universe. When a hive population exceeds 300 individuals, Praetorians are born and become the Royal Guard and army commanders of the Queen or the Empress. Praetorians rarely venture outside of the confines of the hive, in contrast to other xenomorph kinds like the drones and the warriors. Then, as the others, we also have the specialized Praetorians. Carriers are one such of them. They are an evolutionary stage of a Praetorian. The carrier resembles an outsized drone, with its ashen mesoskeleton and smooth carapace. It is noticeably shorter than a queen, but also a few feet taller than a warrior and a Praetorian. It has specialized evolved dorsal tubes which it can launch facehuggers and also designed to hold the facehuggers in them. Then we have the Ravager, which is another Praetorian variant that is highly dangerous. And unlike other xenomorphs, it is a hyper-aggressive killing machine with absolutely no interest in capturing victims alive to act as hosts for more xenomorphs. Now we come to the level of the leaders of the xenomorph hives. And firstly we start with the Queens at number 8. And starting with the Queens, which is one of the larger forms of the species of the xenomorph XX121 that serves both as the mother and the leader of a hive. Queens are one of the largest, strongest and most intelligent xenomorph castes, and their appearance differs from other smaller variants, with a pair of extra arms growing from their chest and a large head crest extending rearwards from their skull. She is the sole egg layer of a hive and is responsible for leading just one singular hive. Then we have the Rogue Queens and the Predalien Queen. Just as the drones and Praetorians have their variants, so does the Queen. The most notable variant are the Red Queens, which are leaders of the Red Xenomorphs that rebelled against the primary Hive and established a separate Hive system called the Red Army. Then we also have the Predalien, surprisingly, which is also a Queen Xenomorph which is still a juvenile during the events of AVP Requiem. When it grows and matures, it will also gain the ability to lay eggs in huge numbers and form a hive that it will rule. Then at number 10 we have the Kings. Well, aside from the Queen variants, there is another Hive leader caste which is very rare in that they are males. The King is a large and rare form that is only known to exist in the largest of the Xenomorph hives. They are very similar to the Queen but are much more built for combat, not for egg laying. Most evidence would seem to point to the King being a commander caste way above the Praetorians that would act as a hulking field commander for the lesser caste. He would also hold a position of importance close to or as a counterpart to the Queen. Then we go one more caste upwards and we have the Empress. This caste of Xenomorph is a step above the Queen, King and Rogue Royals. She is the evolved form of a Queen alien and one of the 3 female types of Xenomorph monarchs. A rarer type, Empresses are superior to Queen aliens, often ruling over several queens in their respective hives. They themselves only bow down to the Hive Mother, the supreme ruler of all Xenomorph species. They are also a bit larger than queens, being 15 to 20 feet tall. Empresses, notably, may cohabit a single territory with several queens, making the others subordinate to her will. And lastly we have the Queen Mother. This is the rarest and the most powerful of all the Xenomorphs, also known as the Hive Mother, the Super Mother, or the Uber Queen. Not the queen that drives Ubers in high heels, but you know, it rules over a vast hive world, most notably Xenomorph Prime, and also communicates with and or controls off-world hives as well. Queen Mothers have been said to come into being by growing from an existing Queen or Empress, presumably with the Empress variants as an intermediary form. This evolution is driven by the size of the hive, which drives the size of the Queen as well, which in turn influences the virility of the hive in a vicious cycle. The ultimate caste, the Queen Mother, is 50 feet tall or 15 meters in height, which means she is also the biggest Xenomorph. There are also other variants of Xenos that haven't been included, like the Newborn and the White King hybrids, but I leave that to you guys to arrange in that hive. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button for support and subscribe as well. But most of all, smash that bell icon for regular updates on new videos right here on this channel. Till the next one, take care fam.